something new in 2024, which I'm only telling the Patreons, but it's actually going to be on the main feed. So here's the thing. We have a show every single day, okay? We have a Patreon show on Saturdays. We have a show 7 days a week. Nothing is changing with those shows. We're always going to do the interviews. We're always going to have housewives on. We're always going to do the gossip with Melissa Rivers and Sarah and Rachel Yucatel. But a lot of people for years, the number one thing that has been requested is that I do can I react to certain things as they happen? Like, imagine if I spoke about Scandal within like an hour of it happening. Now, we can't be bumping shows and all of that because Daddy doesn't have the time to do that. It actually takes a minute. Excuse me. I'm really sick. I truly, truly am sick. Sorry. It actually takes, but I mean, God forbid we don't have a Patreon show on Saturday. I will feel like I'm letting everyone down. So we can't be like, but what we are going to do, now maybe we'll do this every day. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it and it will go away. So the main show isn't going anywhere. If I see anything going on funny with the main show, this idea is going to be pulled. But everybody wants me to react. So certain days, maybe like twice a week, 3 times a week, I am going to put out David's Daily Dish in the afternoon, and it's going to be short. It is going to be 10 minutes. So the long show with Sarah will be there. This will be there. All the interviews will be there. We will dissect. You guys like things dissected, but when it's a quick hit, like now we just found out that John Janssen, maybe didn't buy Alexis's promise ring. We could still talk about that here for 20 minutes and really dissect it. But don't you want me to react right away for like 10 minutes and give you my thoughts? I'll tell you right now. But so we are going to be putting out, and we're only announcing this on Patreon, but it's going to be on the main show. We're putting out these little things, David's Daily Dish, even though it's not going to be every day. And it will be a 10-minute thing, 8 to 10 minutes. Kyle and Mauricio are separating. Well, wouldn't you want to have heard from me like within 3 minutes? Now you're going to. Every day at 3:30, the days that this drops. I think this is a good idea, right? And if I see any funny business with the main show or anything, like just that, those numbers have to. I still say, aren't you sick of me? You want more, but all of you do want more. Apparently, you slip into my DMs, and this is the number one ask for thing. So that's what we're doing. Starting on January 2nd. Okay. Only when something happens. When something happens here every day. Alexis and John Janssen, could we talk? Could we talk for a minute? Listen. I have some experience with Alexis in the real world. Now, have I spoke to Alexis any time in the past 3 years? No. In 2020, did I sleep over Alexis Bellino's house in the OC? I did. Don't ask, okay? Like, let's not get into how that happened. But I spent a whole weekend with Alexis, and I observed things, guys. This behind the velvet rope, we observed. What I observed is a woman, this is when her mom was alive, and losing a parent changes you. But I observed a woman who really just wanted to love. This is my analysis. Like, she was with this guy, Jim Bellino, who it didn't seem like he treated her that great. He sued. I mean, you should have sued Shannon, and you should have sued Tamra. And you definitely should have sued Heather McDonald, girl. But yeah. So, but it didn't seem like he was. It seemed like he was like maybe not as bad as Letty Hochstein, but it didn't seem like he was a warm and fuzzy guy. Then she meets this other guy, and the time that I was there sleeping at her house, she was wanting to be engaged. She was saying, "I want to be engaged." So, 2 things I took away from that. This is my honest opinion. I'm so honest. There's no other way I can be. I'm not always negative, but I feel, well, that's lovely, right? You want to love, but I cringe a little bit. It's just me. I cringe a little bit. Now, granted, I'm very single. I love being single, but I cringe when it's a woman that goes from guy to guy to guy. We'll talk about Lisa Hochstein and Jody soon. So I got a little bit of that vibe. That's just me. It's like, Alexis, girl, stand on your own 2 feet. Like, don't throw the women's movement back. But her mother passed away this year, and losing a parent, I'm so sorry for the coughing. It's either this or don't do the show. Um, you losing a parent changes you. It does. It changes you forever. And I mean, look what Kyle's going through. She lost her friend. It makes you take stock of your life. So she breaks up with this guy, which I assume is like a power move of like, well, you're still not, you know, you're still not marrying me or proposing, so you're not the guy. My mom is gone. I don't have time for this. So good for you. That's like a power move to me. Now, I really think BravoCon, I feel BravoCon is the kryptonite that changed our Alexis, because when I was there, now again, 3 years, a long time. I change every fucking day. You call me a flip-flopper. Team Teresa, Team Melissa, Team Margaret, Team Dolores. I don't know. Dolores better pick a side. She's got to do something interesting, guys. I can't watch this Switzerland bullshit anymore. But 3 years, it's a long time. But my point is, when I was there sleeping at Alexis's, she really, truly, to her credit, had moved on from the show. She didn't want to be back. She wasn't like desperate to get back on the show. Everyone says that, but I really believed her. I think, you lose your mom, your kids are older, you break up. I think there are things in her life which have changed, and now the time is right. But I think that BravoCon was her kryptonite. When she went with Joe De La Rosa, who was on this podcast, and Lori Peterson, and all the others to present that award, Gretchen Rossi, who was on this podcast, to present that award to Vicky and everyone. I imagine in the hotel and outside, I mean, people were screaming, Jesus jogs. I mean, I think she got a taste of what it would be, and I think she wants back on. Now, if this is a whole, like, diabolical plan between her and John, I actually am kind of impressed. Like, bravo, Alexis. I didn't give Jesus Junks enough credit. Good for you. But has anyone really looked at the other side of things, that girl that I remember from 2020 that just wanted to get engaged, that went from Jim to this other guy? Could this just be the diabolical plan of John Janssen? You see what happens when I'm sick? Of John Janssen. And Alexis is not filled in on this. You guys give my boy over here, you give my boy, Louie Ruelas, over here, a lot of flack. And from what I'm seeing, he's at home. He has 2 lovely sons. Teresa has 4 lovely daughters. They're spending the holidays together. She's not home. Where's my husband? He's out at the bar. Everyone's giving my guy Louie a lot of flack. And yet he's home professing his